people that are working to run your elections take it very seriously. We take an oath swearing that we are going to uphold the laws of the state of Connecticut or the federal government, and we take it very, very seriously.
According to the Secretary of the state, Connecticut has roughly 2 million registered voters, and thousands head to the polls every year to cast their vote. None of this, however, would be possible without the registrars of voters and town clerks that work for months and prepare for months behind the scenes to ensure the right to vote is safeguarded and carried out properly.
They think that they come in on election day and it just is there automatically, but we start weeks in advance. We have to order the ballots, we have to order the memory cards for the tabulators, we have to wait for them to come in. We have an IVS machine, which is for people with disabilities. If they have a hearing or a sight disability, they could use that machine, so they have independent voting. We have to hire the employees, we have to prepare the room. So there's a lot that goes into it, and we spend a lot of hours working together to make sure that it gets done and we're ready to go at 6 a.m. on election day.
When the preparation finally comes to a head and election day arrives, it's go time for the registrars. Despite these efforts to ensure that election day runs smoothly, several poll workers have encountered voters with frustrations and anger.
We all have our characters that, will come into town hall and, we know who's maybe complainer or, could be trouble, but, we just handle them, we treat them nicely and, hope they go away.
We have some people that don't like the result of a former election, so they'll come in and they'll shout something, yay, to go to this person. Or we had one woman that came in for the primary and she swore she was never a member of that party. She was a member of the party for the primary, and she had to go away disappointed because she had missed the deadline. So, but in Ashford, I think it's not as bad as in some other municipalities. Again, we're a small town and we know a lot of the people that come in.
We did have one incident where an individual wanted to pick up an absentee ballot and take it to his father, and we told him you can't have an absentee ballot that's blank. So he got a little verbal and abusive with us and stormed out of here, and unfortunately the police ended up coming and I think they actually arrested him.
Not only are registrars essential to the voting process and election day, but town clerks are equally as important.
We create the ballot, and it's up to us to provide that ballot to the registrars. They run the polls, and in this case, now that we have early voting, the early voting. So my role is different. We have to do reports and send that information to the Secretary of State's office and report the results and everything to them.
Even with their normal duties, surprises still arrive. Alyssa Bass, the Democratic Registrar in Stonington, received several identical FOI requests after the 2020 election from people in and out of state.
I wouldn't categorize it as a large number of requests, but we received a number of FOI requests. They were all almost identical. None of them came from a resident of Stonington. Some of them came from residents of Connecticut, but some of them came from people out of state, and they were clearly copy and pasted from somewhere. Under Freedom of Information, we're required to provide reports or documents. And these FOI requests involved things like questions about the voting tabulators that we use and questions about the computer software that we use. And those things, those aren't FOIable.
Despite the concerns or challenges that may arise, poll workers are extremely qualified and highly trained in their field.
We want the elections to be fair and honest, and to know that when you come into my polling place, I call it my polling place, I'm sorry, because I've been doing it for 30 years, but if you come into our polling place, I want you to know that everything has been done to the letter of the law, and we don't expect problems, but there could always be a problem, and to know we know how to deal with those problems, and we will make sure that they get taken care of correctly.
All year round, especially during elections, our poll workers are essential. Without the registrars, town clerks, and other poll workers, the voting process and election day wouldn't be possible.